Here's what's making news at midday. We're learning more about yesterday's workplace shooting. We will have a live report from Middleton. A teenager is in custody after a shooting on a Madison Metro bus. We'll have the very latest.
This is News 3 at noon.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. Mark is on vacation this week. Authorities are still trying to figure out why a man began shooting inside his office yesterday. The shooting happened at WTS Paradigm, a software company at 1850 Deming Way in Middleton. Area law enforcement agencies shared an update on their investigation late this morning. They say 3 of the 4 victims remain in the hospital. The suspected shooter was shot and killed by officers. Investigators have searched his home, but they are not releasing his name at this time. News 3's Keely Arthur joins us now. She's been covering the story since the beginning. And Keely, we still don't have answers to the 2 biggest questions: who and why.
That's right, Susan. Middleton Police Chief Charles Folk not releasing the suspect's name until his family is notified. We do know that the shooter was 43 years old and acted alone in yesterday's shooting when he opened fire on his co-workers at WTS Paradigm at around 10:30 a.m., shooting 4 of them before police shot and killed him. The suspect had been working at the tech company since April of 2017. Police are doing a full investigation there and confirmed at this news conference that they executed a search warrant at the shooter's home last night.
It was served at a residence on the southwest side of Madison. Items beneficial to the investigation were collected in that search warrant, and I think it's fair to say that that search warrant and that resident are connected to this case.
The motive is still unknown. The chief did not go into detail into what was found at the home, but stressed there is no additional threat to the public, adding the shooter did not have a criminal record, at least in this state. And a very important note on the victims here: 4 injured, 1 treated and released from the hospital, 3 still remaining there. But Susan, the most critically injured, is now in stable condition. Back to you.
That is reassuring to hear. Keely Arthur reporting live from the Middleton Police Department. Keely, thank you. Middleton police are assisting employees of WTS Paradigm to collect their vehicles and other important information until 1 o'clock this afternoon. Employees of other businesses at 1850 Deming Way will also be collecting their belongings later today. Let's get a check on the weather now. Dave Caulfield is in the Weather Center. It's kind of a gloomy start to our Thursday.
Yeah, a lot of rain for some of us early this morning. Now not so much, just some very light showers out and about across southern Wisconsin, but really not seeing too much in the way of rain, and I don't really expect that this afternoon. A lot of the activity is heading north, well north of Madison. Some stronger thunderstorms as we zoom in, possibly trying to make their way into the Camp Douglas area and closer to Juneau and Adams counties, but that's really about it. Flood bulletins, the hardest hit area was southwestern Wisconsin early this morning, so those bulletins, both a flood warning and a flash flood watch, go until early this afternoon. A live look in Platteville, an area that could have picked up about 3 to 4 inches of rain this morning. No rain right now on the Queen Bee Radio Skycam. Temperatures are in the 60s and 70s depending on the amount of cloud cover, but we actually should see the clouds clear out to some extent this afternoon. But more showers and thunderstorms possible very late tonight into early tomorrow morning, and some of those thunderstorms, Susan, could be severe, so we'll go over those threats and talk about a nice and cool weekend ahead in your first alert forecast.
All right, we'll check back in a little while. Thanks a lot, Dave. A teenager, a 15-year-old boy, was arrested this morning in connection with a shooting Wednesday afternoon on a city bus. Madison police say they received a call just before 4 in the afternoon for someone shot on a bus at Flom Road and Monona Drive. The victim, a 16-year-old boy, was shot in the leg and is suffering from non-life-threatening injuries. The victim and the shooter are both believed to be students. Police say the 2 knew each other, and it is not clear if the shooting was intentional or accidental at this time. 3 area schools were placed on lockdown in response to the shooting. Police received multiple calls of a report of a man with a gun on State Street early this morning. Police issued a WISC alert at 1:23 a.m. as a precautionary warning for people to to avoid the 600 block of State Street. Madison police say they received multiple calls reporting a man openly carrying firearms that were in a holster. UW police say the risk on State Street was cleared at around 2:40 a.m. UW police say no shots were fired and no injuries were reported. 3 people have been killed in a shooting in Harford County, Maryland. The lone suspect in the shooting at a Rite Aid distribution center is in custody and is in critical condition. The Harford County Sheriff's Office tweeted that there was a shooting this morning in the Perryman area that involved multiple victims. They warn the situation is still fluid and they're asking people there to avoid the area. The FBI's Baltimore field office tweets that it's responding as well and assisting the sheriff's office with an active shooter investigation. Republican lawmakers are sticking to their refusal to bring in the FBI on allegations of sexual assault against Supreme Court nominee Brett Kavanaugh. The clock is ticking now on a deadline imposed by Senate Republicans to get Brett Kavanaugh's accuser to make a decision about whether she will testify about allegations of sexual assault that she says happened when they were teenagers. Lawyers for Dr. Christine Blasey Ford say the Senate Judiciary Committee is running, quote, not a fair or good faith investigation. They and the Democrats are still pushing for the FBI to open its background check on Kavanaugh.
Where I'm focused right now is doing everything that we can to make Dr. Ford comfortable with coming before our committee.
Republicans say the committee is more than capable of doing this investigation itself.
Well, are they doing it? Nobody knows what they're doing.
Republicans say aides interviewed Judge Kavanaugh under oath in private on Monday. They appear to be moving ahead with plans to vote on his nomination next week. There's more to come today on News 3 at noon. When we come back, we'll see what Howard's working on in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
I hope my mom's not watching today, because I'm sharing a recipe for a buttermilk cake that was so good, I would often trade my lunch for a piece back in elementary school. My mom never even knew about it. Never. All this week, we're taking a walk down memory lane as we highlight retro school cafeteria foods. Is there a favorite that you recall? I was always a sucker for the desserts that the cafeteria ladies made. I would never pass them up. So let me share a recipe that's one of my favorites, a rich buttermilk cake. We start by beating together some softened butter and sugar until it's nice and creamy. To that, we add a few eggs, one at a time. After it comes together, we slowly add our dry ingredients, alternating with some buttermilk before stirring in a bit of vanilla. The buttermilk adds a unique flavor, which is what I fell in love with. After this bakes and cools, we slather on an easy homemade chocolate buttermilk frosting. And so you don't eat the whole thing in one evening, maybe freeze half and take out a few slices at a time. Sometimes I would trade my sandwich for my friend's cake, because it was that good. And you know what? After making this a bunch of times, it's still just as good today. So here's what I suggest. Go online and get the recipe for our home-style buttermilk cake, which bakes up in no time. I'm Howard in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a yummy retro way for you to say, ooh, it's so good.
Thank you, Howard. There's more to come today at noon. Up next, it's an alert day. Dave Caulfield is tracking some possible severe weather in the first alert forecast. That's coming up after a short break. We'll be right back. Let's see how stocks are faring at midday. The Dow Jones Industrials are up 265 points. The NASDAQ is up 76. Let's check in with Q106 Farm Director Pam Youngke. Hi, Pam.
Hey, kid, how's it going over there?
Going well. How about you?
Yeah. Yep. We're keeping an eye on that New York City type forecast that Dave's got for us. Yeah, we're hoping that we're going to clear things out. It's going to get a little cooler, but if we can clear things out, we get back to the fields, and that's kind of important, although I'm interested to see how much rain they got in southwest Wisconsin. That's where I was yesterday. I want to say hello to all my friends that were at Southwest Tech College yesterday in Fenimore. They celebrated Ag Day, thriving program going on down there. Well, I'll tell you what, for a change, our grain markets are thriving. Today, what they're talking about is not tariffs, not weather, but instead export business that's going to Mexico and places like Costa Rica. Got the big numbers out this morning. 5.8 million bushel of corn that's headed to Mexico on export sales. That was a surprise in the marketplace. And about 8.9 million bushel of soybeans going to unknown destinations. So our markets are even stronger now than they were when these numbers were sent over. Beans are up about 16 cents right now. Corn market's still robust. Wheat might be coming off some of its highs. Now, a trader told me this morning that they expected if the export numbers look good, we'd see this kind of turn around, at least temporarily, and they're expecting maybe even stronger export numbers next week. So we'll just have to wait and see. Our new export marketing calendar started on September 1st. Some of these folks are just getting themselves squared away now on the volume that they'll truly need from the United States. Do have to keep an eye, though, on the energy market. Man, oh man, the diesel prices that our farmers are looking at in general for the harvest just keep going up. Today, nothing to talk about. Crickets. As far as barrel, block, and butter prices, everything unchanged. So like I said, Suze, tell New York City Caulfield there to wring out the clouds and be done with this so we can get back with the harvest. And I am very curious to see how much rain we got in southwest Wisconsin. They don't need that much.
All right. I think that name is going to stick. Dave's sitting right here. You like that?
Yeah,
you like that?
Yeah.
All right.
Everybody gets a nickname with me, Caulfield.
That's true.
Now you know.
That's true. See, you've officially been initiated. That's good, Dave. All right, Pam, thanks. Have a good day.
Yep.
And what about that?
I hope that nickname's not like farmersonly.com where city folks just don't get it. Well, I'm trying to get this weather pattern that we're in. Southwestern Wisconsin, a lot of rain this morning. We have seen the flash flood watch expire or be canceled, which is good news. But that flood warning you see closer to Grant County and also into Crawford County, that goes until 2:45 this afternoon. So radar estimates of about 3 to 4 inches widespread of rain from the last 24 hours or so. And you can see why. I have this Doppler track loop over the last 18 to 24 hours. And that rain just really trained over the same spots, setting up late last night into early this morning, even some hail possible as we went throughout the morning hours. Right now, though, on Doppler track, pretty quiet across much of the area, with the exception of spots in Juneau and Adams County. Some heavier rain moving that way right now. But here are 24-hour precipitation estimates. Remember, this is just an estimate. It's not exact numbers here, but widespread reports of at least radar estimates of about 3 to 4 inches, and some spots locally heavier amounts definitely possible. Here's our time lapse in Platteville. You can actually see a little bit of lightning early on in this time lapse, but really for much of the morning we've been pretty quiet, just cloudy in Platteville on our Queen Bee Radio Skycam. And we are looking at those clouds still right now in Platteville and also in downtown Madison on the Edgewater Skycam. The almanac for today, the forecast high of 84 degrees, normal is 70. So we're actually not too far from the record set last year of 91 degrees. And this is a little bit of an interesting setup atmospherically. Hopefully I didn't just make up a word there. But we do have a severe weather outlook for today, an alert day in the forecast for the risk of some severe thunderstorms. The main threats here, folks, are going to be damaging winds and large hail as a cold front comes through. It really does depend, though, on how quickly these clouds clear out, because if temperatures can go up pretty quickly, also that humidity tends to spike right ahead of that cold front, then we could be in store for some strong to severe thunderstorms later on this afternoon into the evening and possibly into the overnight hours as well. So 60-mile-per-hour wind gusts, hail of 1 inch plus in diameter, and can't rule out an isolated tornado either. So let's take a look at this on Future Track. Again, depending on how quickly we clear out these clouds, if we clear them out quicker than the models are forecasting, then that means that the severe weather chances go up. If the opposite happens, well, vice versa. We get those severe weather chances to go down a little bit. So here is our cold front racing across Wisconsin and southern Wisconsin later on tonight into early Friday morning. I think this is going to weaken as it begins to move to the south and east. It's just a question of dotting our T's and Nope. Dotting our I's, crossing our T's was right the first time. But we're watching this closely because some spots, especially north and west of Madison, could get hit with some strong to severe thunderstorms tonight. But then on Friday, we start to clear out and we'll actually have a cool, if not quiet, weekend, which I know we are all excited for. So here's your 7-day forecast. Temperatures in the 60s for Friday and Saturday, in the 70s as we head into early next week. But we should have plenty of sunshine and feeling pretty fall-like for the start of fall on Saturday. And then Monday and Tuesday, we get some of those shower and thunderstorm chances back with us, especially late Monday into early Tuesday. And hanging out in the 60s for the first full week of fall. So it's definitely looking like fall is for real, at least the start of the season coming up. But we'll continue to watch that chance of severe weather. Right now, not looking too bad. But if we get that sunshine, that helps fuel those storms. So we'll definitely keep an eye on it.
All right, very good. Thanks a lot, Dave. Still to come today at noon, Marissa DeGroot from the Dane County Humane Society is here, and she has brought a very happy puppy who needs a forever home. We'll meet Bama when News 3 at noon continues. It's time for Potentially Yours. Marissa DeGroot is here from the Dane County Humane Society, and this is going to be a two-man job, this interview. Hi, Marissa. Who do we have here today?
We have Bama up from Alabama, and Bama is 11 months old, which means that this is pretty much full grown for him, but he's still got that puppy brain.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. He is a happy guy, high energy guy.
Yes, and that means we're looking for a family that can kind of keep up with this high energy. But what I love about Bama is he's a lot like a toddler, where they are going to play and go nuts, and then as soon as he hits that wall, he is out.
So you get all your energy out.
Yes.
Now, what about a home with other dogs?
Yeah, so Bama loves meeting new people. He loves meeting new dogs, but we're actually looking for a home for Bama where he can be kind of the king of the castle, the only pup there.
Okay.
That's because while Bama loves other dogs, he doesn't love other dogs touching his things. He's not big on sharing all the time, are you, Bama?
Just like a toddler.
Oh, your arm is stuck now.
Oh, there you go. There you go.
So we're hoping for a home for Bama where he can be the only dog and maybe start to learn that sharing is a good thing.
It is. It's something you have to learn. Now, you took him to Dogtoberfest, and he did great, right?
He did fantastic, which is a lot of fun. So you can maybe have him as the only dog in the house, but you can go out to a lot of fun events where he is very dog social.
Okay. How about our pet from last week? First you want to talk about the Bark and Wine. That's right, I forgot about that.
Because if you didn't catch it on Mr. Bama here, he is all dressed up in his bow tie, ready for Bark and Wine, happening Saturday, September 29th. We have those tickets on sales just for a few more days, and you're not going to want to miss that event.
Okay, and quick, our two cats from last week?
Callie and Mia, they were adopted. We are so excited for those gorgeous ladies.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's really good news. Mark will be happy to hear that, too, because those were really sweet kitties. Okay, Bama, you're next. Good luck, buddy. If you're interested in adopting Bama or any of the dogs or cats, all of the animals at the Humane Society, you can give them a call. What's the number?
608-838-0413.
Or check them online as well at giveshelter.org. Marissa, great to see you. He is so fun. I really hope he gets a great home. All right, good luck, Bama. All right, let's head over to Dave for a final check of the weather.
I'm the same way, Susan. Once I hit my limit, I am out like a light as well. And we don't really have that much rain on radar right now, but for some of us in Juneau and Adams counties, some heavier downpours on the way. Should be pretty quiet this afternoon, warm and more humid. It depends on how fast we do clear out, because that will really determine how much severe weather that we see across southern Wisconsin, but some stronger thunderstorms possible later on tonight into early tomorrow morning. Temperatures in the mid-80s for highs.
All right, thanks so much, Dave. Have a great day, everybody. See you back here for Live at 4.
Making plans that are weather dependent? Get an accurate 12-hour, even a 10-day forecast. Download the Channel 3000 First Alert Weather app and start planning.